Hi folks, welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And that's your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome back. I'm just going to show you some stupidity on parade. I'm going to start off with my governor, and I say that with great sadness. Oh, I live in upstate New York, not New York City, but might as well be Mars compared to New York City, and that's just the way it is. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. I want to show you some of we'll put it to you this way. None of these people I'm going to show here is going to be bringing the potato salad to the next Mensa picnic. But unfortunately, thanks in a large part to Biden voters, they're in charge of the most powerful military in the world, in the largest economy in the world. Think about that. Let's listen to this nonsense first.
Really comes around and realizes this is a simple, very minor intrusion, if you will. If it's that, even that, all the children in the state have been wearing masks since the beginning. It's not that big a deal. It'll help save lives, keep people healthy, and that's all we're asking for. So there has been some pushback, but we're not backing down from this. We think it's important.
We're not backing down because we think it's important. We don't give a good damn what the people in New York State think. Plus, it's not even constitutional under the federal and state constitution. She does not have that authority. Is she better than Andy Cuomo? Yeah, okay. So instead of getting poked in the eye with a sharp stick, we're getting poked in the eye with a dull stick. Now we're going to see the person that's going to end up being president of the United States, Kamala Harris. And she pretends when Charlemagne asks her a tough question she doesn't want to answer, her aide cuts in and cuts her off, and you'll see what happens. It's amazing to me. And I call it arrogant and stupid.
Who's the superhero that's going to speak against Joe Manchin? No. I want to know who's the real president of this country. Is it Joe Biden or Joe Manchin?
I'm sorry, I interrupted. I don't think the vice president can hear you. It's the mom.
So there it is. Her aide stops it. By the way, Charlemagne, you're smart enough to know this. And I know you're smart enough to know this. It's called a republic. And if a senator doesn't want to vote for something, they don't have to vote for something. It's 50-50 in the Senate. So does that give Joe Manchin, maybe in Christian Cinema, both of those senators a little bit more power than they should have? Yeah, kind of. But it's called a republic. It's not a dictatorship, even though Biden and Harris think so.
I'm so sorry, Charlie. We have to wrap.
She can hear me.
You hear me? Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, Madam Vice President?
So I'm sorry. We got to wrap.
Oh.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me.
Yeah, they're acting like they can't hear me, yo. Another grifter. You know, I have some respect for this guy, a little bit. Not much, but some. I understand the game he's playing. It's part of entertainment. I get it. But he's even calling these people out. Yo, she's pretending like she can't hear me, yo. Yeah, they are pretending. When are you going to catch on? At least when you had Trump, you knew exactly where he stood. You may not have liked it, but he talked plain English when you asked a plain question.
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlemagne.
No, she's going to get her anger up. Yeah, and arrogance. Come on, Charlemagne. I thought you were on our side. You're black. Don't you remember? All black people think the same. Come on, man.
Come on, it's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican.
Don't start talking like a Republican because Republicans aren't black. When are you going to catch on to these morons are the racists? When? When is that going to happen?
About asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
Do you think the criticism comes from you being a black woman, a woman of color?
I think that there is definitely healthy discussion that I will leave others to have about that.
Now, here's the thing. We'll say 6 months ago, 8 months ago, she would have said absolutely. But now that a large portion of them, what's her approval rating? 28%? Got to be kidding me. It's actually even lower than Biden's. She hasn't even done anything. And it's lower. Why? Because she's an unlikable person. Okay, that shouldn't really matter if you're likable or not. It should be what you've accomplished. And she's accomplished nothing as senator. And she's accomplished nothing as vice president. She's a placeholder. And here's the catch. How the hell are the Democrats going to get rid of her? They can't. If I was her, I wouldn't leave. I'm going to be president of the United States without being elected. The first woman and the first non-white woman to be elected. Why the hell would I walk away from that? They're stuck with her. Either that or you got to keep Joe Biden propped up for another 3 years. Be like Weekend at Bernie's, but 3 years long. They're stuck with her. They did everything they could to defeat Donald Trump, and now comes the backlash to them.
But I'm going to be focused on the work, and I will not be distracted.
It's okay to say yes. We see it. It's okay.
Standing here.
Now, here we are, a spokesperson. This is a spokesperson for foreign relations, talking to the Council on Foreign Relations. He speaks for the State Department. He's talking about what a wonderful job that was done in Afghanistan. These people got some serious balls. Serious balls. Unbelievable. Listen to this idiot. Well, thank God it's a short video.
Here in December, that strategic decision remains the right decision. For the first time in 20 years, there are no U.S. troops in harm's way in Afghanistan this holiday season. We safely and effectively drew down our diplomatic presence. We lifted tens of thousands of vulnerable Afghans to safety in a unique American example of capacity, commitment, and sheer logistics.
Capacity, commitment, and sheer logistics. You, my friend, are a big-time hole. What a piece of you are. You're even worse than Harris. How can you stand there and defend that you've left tens of thousands of people to die and be tortured? You left hundreds of Americans there. You should be ashamed. You're a disgrace.
I think one of the things that has been...
Now, of course, we've got to hear from... Well, Tucker Carlson calls Maxine Waters the lowest IQ in the House of Representatives. It could very well be her. Everything about her is racism, 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 racism.
Almost like difficult for me personally in working in Congress is seeing how different not only the rest of the country is, because that diversity is great.
No, you don't think that diversity is great at all. You hate it because they don't think like you. You have all the answers. Sit down and shut up. Unbelievable. But here's the thing. There is not an adult. I'm 65. And everybody younger than me in this country that can read or comprehends things knows about our history, knows about the Jim Crow, what the Democrat Party did, by the way. All Democrats, every single one. That's why as time went on from Jim Crow through the 60s, the South turned Republican. Because the Democrats were the racists. And as the South, the Deep South especially, became much less racist, 99% less, it changed the Republican. Why? Because the Democrats are the true racists. You want to stop racism because everybody knows what happened when the Native Americans, slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, laws about mixed race marriages, all that crap. And it was all crap. And we've come a long ways. You want racism to come down as you think it's so high? Stop talking about it.
It's not that it's different. But it's how accepting of racism a lot of other communities are. And it's tough. It's tough to say that. I'm sorry to say that, but I think it's interesting because, this is a youth town hall, right? We're all dialing in from schools all across the district. And there was recently this debate in Virginia, for example, that people don't want their kids really learning about racism or the history of racism in the United States. They call this critical race theory.
Yeah, because they already know. There is no one that's even gotten to the 6th grade that doesn't know about slavery and the Civil War and all the horrible things that were done. We've come a very long ways. We are the least racist country in the world. We bring in over 1 million immigrants to this country legally. I'm not counting about the illegal ones. There's millions, tens of millions of those, but legally. We take half the world's refugees, and the vast majority of them are not white. If this country is so bad and so racist, what the hell are all these non-white people want to get here so badly for? That would be like in the late 1930s and early 1940s, Jews risking their lives to go to Nazi Germany. It makes no sense, you idiot. Now listen to this moron who put her hand on the Constitution, put her hand up and swore to uphold the Constitution, doesn't even know what's in it.
What makes the Senate fundamentally undemocratic is that it gives small groups of people the same amount of power as massive groups of people. And that is not democratic at all.
We're not a democracy, you idiot. We're a republic. And it's called, and Charlemagne should know this too, it's called the tyranny of the majority. James Madison made it crystal clear, and other people in the Federalist Papers. The majority rules. That's democracy. Democracies are dangerous. It's the majority rules that made mixed race marriages unlawful. It's majority rules that made Jim Crow in the South separate but equal. All those horrible things that you talk about that were so wrong and so evil in our history was because of majority rule. All of it. Senators are there for one simple reason. They represent 2 from each state. So the majority doesn't plow over the minority, so 51% does not disregard the other 49%. It makes compromise. It makes you sit down and compromise. Granted, there isn't a lot of that anymore because we're so polarized, but that's besides the point. You idiot. Now let's listen to our president that, by the way, has the nuclear launch codes. This should scare the crap out of you.
All kidding aside, of course, President Harris is a proud Howard alum.
President Harris is a proud Howard alum. Unfreaking believable. Thank you so much, Biden voters. Thank you so much. Incredible, incredible, incredible. I used to be somewhat easy on the millions of people that voted for Joe Biden and the Congress people that voted to put them tied in the Senate and have a small majority in the House of Representatives. I used to think that millions of them were just decent people, and there's, I'm sure there is, but I'm tired of it now. If you haven't realized, how the hell does he have a high 30s, mid 30s approval rating? How does Kamala Harris have a 28% approval rating? That means there's tens and millions of people that are completely stupid and brainwashed and cannot have their minds changed with facts. They live in a different reality. They live in a different world. It's incredible to me. And when shown the facts, when shown everything They put their fingers in their ears. La, 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 la. They want to hear it. You're a racist. Like that moron that was on Tim Cass IRL the other night. R.A., the tough guy, or whatever the hell rapper's name is. Some white guy from Long Island. Morons. They cannot be changed. They cannot be changed. This progressivism is a mental disorder with no cure. Trying to convince someone like these morons and millions of others that they're wrong is a waste of time. It's a waste of mental energy and physical energy. So every time you get into a discussion with one of these morons, whether it be around the family dinner table or in a public space or even at work, confront them. Put your nose right in their face too. Enough is enough. And that's the flaw with conservative people. Well, we'll just talk to them and show them the facts and reason, and we'll be able to convince them that what all these things we're going to show them that they're simply wrong. No, those days are over. Those days are over. There's a war coming, a political war, not a ground war for YouTube algorithm out there. There's a political war coming. You're going to have to take a side. And it's really easy for me what side to take. Although not perfect, the Republican side, the people that believe in the Constitution, and the people that love this country. That's the side I'm taking. And I suggest you do too. And don't be quiet about it anymore. Enough is enough. And when these people lose power, their heads are going to explode. And good. And I'm glad. And until next time, goodbye and good luck.